2 sweet teas that outsmart diabetes. Stories from American elderly afternoons. We older Americans have a habit. After dinner, we sink into the armchair, set a cup of hot tea beside us, and let out a long, satisfied sigh as if the whole world outside could wait just a few more minutes. Old age comes with its share of troubles: creaking joints, unpredictable digestion, and that ever-clinging guest called diabetes. And yet, strangely enough, little joys find their way into our kitchens. Right there in a humble ceramic cup. Sweet teas that are actually friendly to our blood sugar. Back in the day, I was like every other diabetic patient, hearing the same refrain over and over: stay away from sweets. Don't touch anything sweet or your sugar will spike. I heard it so often that the moment I smelled something sugary, a red warning light went off in my head. But then I discovered something surprising: not everything sweet is bad. In fact, there are 2 kinds of tea that taste sweet, feel soothing, and still help us diabetics: peppermint tea and fennel tea. Peppermint tea, a cool friend after every meal. I remember one evening after a big dinner at my daughter's house: roast chicken, cheese, garlic bread. My stomach felt like I'd swallowed a balloon. I was about to reach for some digestive pills. But she said, "Dad, try a cup of peppermint tea. I made it for you." I laughed it off at first, thinking, how could leaves beat medicine? But within 10 minutes of sipping that fresh, minty tea, my stomach felt like someone had opened a release valve. From that day, peppermint tea became my companion. The charm of peppermint lies in its sweet, cooling taste. There's no sugar in it, yet it still makes your tongue happy. It doesn't send blood sugar bouncing, and it soothes that temperamental stomach we seniors often struggle with. After meals, many of us sit there puffing and groaning with bloated bellies. A hot cup of peppermint tea, inhaling the aroma and sipping slowly, eases the discomfort and sends the trapped gas on its way. Some of my friends say peppermint tea also helps with those nagging little headaches, not the severe kind, but the dull heaviness in the forehead on cloudy mornings or when the weather shifts. Instead of popping a painkiller, they go for a warm cup of peppermint tea. The warmth rises from the chest to the head, the menthol aroma clears the sinuses, and suddenly the mind feels refreshed. What I love most is how peppermint tea tricks my sweet cravings. Evenings are the hardest for us diabetics: TV ads flashing cakes, ice cream, and chocolate. But with a mug of peppermint tea beside me, the craving fades. The mild sweetness and cooling note fool the brain into thinking it's had dessert. Only this dessert is sugar-free. Another blessing: peppermint contains no caffeine. At our age, a late coffee guarantees a sleepless night, and even black or green tea can keep us restless. Peppermint, however, is perfectly safe. After a cup, I can climb into bed without a racing heart. In fact, it relaxes me, like someone gently patting my shoulder and whispering, "It's all right, time to rest." Sometimes I spice things up by dropping a cinnamon stick into my peppermint tea. The warmth of cinnamon combined with mint's coolness gives a warm inside, cool outside sensation, tasty and blood sugar friendly. Friends also suggest mixing peppermint with green tea in the morning, refreshing, but without the jittery edge of strong coffee. And it's easy to find. Supermarkets sell it in tea bags, and fresh leaves are often in the produce aisle. Many of my friends even grow a pot or 2 on their windowsills, beautiful to look at, and always ready for a fresh pick. A little sunlight, a little water, and you've got medicine right at home. Fennel tea, grandma's secret for a gentle stomach. If peppermint is the cool friend, fennel is the grandmotherly figure, warm, soothing, always ready to calm an upset belly. I first tried fennel tea while visiting an Italian friend. After a hearty pasta dinner, he brought out a golden cup with a faint licorice aroma. "Just try it," he said. "Tomorrow morning you'll thank me." And sure enough, the next morning my stomach felt lighter, digestion smoother. From then on, fennel tea joined my list of old age remedies. Fennel has a natural mild sweetness, like licorice but not overwhelming. For diabetics, it's just right, pleasant without added sugar. I like to call it a zero-calorie dessert. Whenever plain water feels boring, I brew fennel tea, sweet enough to enjoy, yet no spike in blood sugar. Its greatest strength is how it soothes digestion. Aging often brings irritable bowels, bloating, cramps, or long bouts of constipation. Fennel isn't a laxative, but it makes everything run smoother. I often drink a cup before bed, and by morning, things are much easier. Some of my lady friends say fennel also eases hot flashes and minor cramps during hormonal shifts. Another bonus, it freshens the breath. After meals heavy with garlic or onions, a cup of fennel tea makes breathing pleasant again. Sometimes I brew it strong, let it cool, and use it as a gentle mouth rinse. No sting, just freshness. For seniors with sensitive teeth and gums, it's a lifesaver. Many of my peers also find fennel tea curbs snacking. Its subtle sweetness keeps the mouth satisfied, so you're less tempted to raid the pantry for cookies. Cutting down on sugary snacks helps stabilize blood sugar too. Brewing is simple. 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, simmered for 10 minutes, strained, and served hot. It soothes, chilled with cucumber or apple slices. It becomes a refreshing summer drink. At night, I often blend it with chamomile for a cozy lullaby tea. The lesson, sweet but not dangerous. The irony makes me smile. After a lifetime of being warned, never touch sweet things, I now find comfort in these sweet, harmless teas. Peppermint and fennel aren't miracles. They won't drop blood sugar instantly or replace insulin, but they make life easier for us seniors with diabetes, less bloating, fewer cravings, better sleep, and above all, the joy of still tasting something sweet. I often tell my grandchildren, managing diabetes doesn't mean living in misery. Sometimes it's just about small swaps. Trade soda for peppermint tea. Trade cookies for fennel tea. Those small choices add up to big stability. At this stage of life, I value peace more than anything. A cup of tea, a quiet breath, can be richer than many luxuries. Peppermint gives me the cool breeze of early summer. Fennel wraps me in the warmth of grandma's arms. Both are sweet, not with sugar, but with comfort. And for those of us living with diabetes, that kind of sweetness is truly priceless.